गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 Srila Prabhupada Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, entitled as the Appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. And this is text 25. Tatra bhavad bhagavan vyasaputro yadhichaya gamatamano napekshaha alakshalingo nijalabhatushto Vritascha balairabadhuta veshaha Tatra bhavad bhagavan vyasaputro Yadrichaya gam atmanunapekshah Alakshalingo nijalabhatushto Vritascha balair avadhutaveshah Tatra bhavad bhagavan vyasaputro Yadrichaya gam atmanunapekshah Alakshalingo nijalabhatushto Vritascha balair avadhutaveshah Matis. Word to word translation. Tatra, there. Abhavat, appeared. Bhagavan, powerful. Vyasaputra, son of Vyasadeva. Yadrachaya, as one desires. Gam, the earth. Atamanaha, while traveling. Anapekshaha, disinterested. Alaksha, unmanifested. Lingaha, symptoms. Nijalabha, self-realized. Tushtaha, satisfied. Vritaha, surrounded. Cha, and. Balaihi, by children. Avadhuta, neglected by others. Veshaha, dressed. So translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At that moment, there appeared the powerful son of Vyasadeva, who travelled over the earth disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptom of belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him. Purport. The word Bhagavan is sometimes used in relation with some of the great devotees of the Lord, like Sukadeva Goswami. Such liberated souls are disinterested in the affairs of this material world because they are self-satisfied by the great achievements of devotional service. As explained before, Sukadeva Goswami never accepted any formal spiritual master, nor did he undergo any formal formatory performances. His father Vasudev was his natural spiritual master because Sukadeva Goswami heard Srimad Bhagavatam from him. After this, he became completely self-satisfied. Thus, he was not dependent on any formal process. The formal processes are necessary for those who are expected to reach the stage of complete liberation. But Sri Sukadeva Goswami was already in that status by the grace of his father. As a young boy, he was expected to be properly dressed, but he went about naked and was uninterested in social customs. He was neglected by the general populace, and inquisitive boys and women surrounded him as if he were a madman. He thus appears on the scene while traveling on the earth of his own accord. It appears that upon the inquiry of Maharaj Parikshit, the great sages were not unanimous in their decision as to what was to be done. For spiritual salvation, there were many prescriptions according to different modes of mature, these different persons. But the ultimate aim of life is to attain the highest perfectional stage of devotional service to the Lord. As doctors differ, so also sages differ in their different prescriptions. While such things were going on, the great and powerful son of Vasudeva appeared on the scene. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Srivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Taptakanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubheshcha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Hare Krishna. So before beginning, I seek blessings of all the devotees that I may speak in parampara, and also it is pleasing to all of you. Hare Krishna. So this is the last chapter of this first canto, and in the beginning, the sages in the Misharanya, they're asking questions to Sutta Goswami. The sages headed by Shaunaka Rishis. Shaunaka Rishi is asking questions. So initially asked some 6 questions, and the initial 2 chapters, Sutta Goswami gave the answers to it, and further the third chapter onwards, the Shaunaka Rishis, they asked further questions. Further 4 questions they basically asked about Srimad Bhagavatam. You heard from Sukadeva Goswami. We also desire to hear. Kindly tell the background of how this Srimad Bhagavatam came, and then the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Parikshit Maharaj. Please explain about his birth and activities. How is that his position itself, by having that position of king, he was serving the sages, offering shelter to so many. He could do so much good to the world. But why is that he left all of this suddenly and went and sat on the bank of Ganges? Why he left all those? And the fourth question was about the Sukadeva Goswami. Can you please tell about Sukadeva Goswami, how he was received in Hastinapur by the general public, and how he was received here in the assembly of sages? So till now the part of question 1 to question 1 he answered with the Vasudev Narad Muni section, and then chapter 4, 5, 6. Then chapter 7 onwards, it was the event leading to the birth of Parikshit Maharaj, and then further the activities of Parikshit Maharaj. And now recently Parikshit Maharaj left the whole kingdom, putting his son on the throne, and now he is here on the bank of Ganges. And yesterday we saw these 2 questions which Parikshit Maharaj is asking to the sages. So before getting into questions, here like what today's shloka is, the Bhagavan, Prabhupada is also explaining the word. Bhagavan, we generally use it for the Supreme Lord, but Bhagavan word is also used sometimes for Lord Shiva, or Lord Brahma, or Sukadeva Goswami, or Vasudev, Narad Muni also, because they are also very powerful personalities. So therefore this word here also comes, the Bhagavan Vyasaputro. Yadrachaya. Yadrachaya word itself is also very nice. Many places in the Bhagavatam it comes. Yadrachaya. Like Indradumna Maharaj, he also renounced the whole kingdom, went to forest, and he was busy worshipping the deities there. But there Agastya Muni comes and curses him. There also the word comes, Yadrachaya. Yes. So here also, this Sukadeva Goswami entering into this assembly. Now in case of Sukadeva Goswami, those days the internet, WhatsApp and these things were not there. But still, this was like very surprising question to even Shaunadagari Rishi also. Because in the beginning of 4th chapter, in the first canto only, they're asking, how is that Sukadeva Goswami is known for like roaming throughout the world, doesn't stay at one location. And he is also completely in, controlled by the Supreme Lord. Yes. He also moves around as per the dictation what he receives from the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord in the heart. And he doesn't stay at one location for a long time. Yes. Sa go dohan matram hi. He stays at one location that much time it requires to milk a cow. Maybe like half an hour at max. Not much more than that. But how is that Sukadeva Goswami came to this place when Parikshit Maharaj is in very much need, and he stayed there for 7 days. 7 days. The person who is not staying here for like 5-10 minutes also, but he spent 7 days. And what is that? Like he was completely self-satisfied personality. He was not hankering for anything. Like here in this world we see, people are doing so much of activities for Shulla Sukhaya, Dukkham Mahad. For simple happiness, for temporary chapal sukha, people are also doing so much of endeavors and so much of struggles they undergo because they desire something. Yes, to the degree their desires are more or higher, to that degree people are ready to put their endeavors. If less desires, less endeavors. More desires, more endeavors. Yes. But here in case of Sukadeva Goswami, it is told he is self-satisfied personality. He is not desiring anything else. But still, why he took that endeavor of reading this 18,000 shlokas, verses of Srimad Bhagavatam? Why so much of endeavors are done? Why 7 days he stayed at one location? So they also had this question. So they are asking, please explain us. And Yadrichya, why? How is that the Sukadeva Goswami came there? So this word is coming, Yadrichya. Sometimes it is translated as automatic. But automatic means there is also a person involved. That person is the Supreme Lord. Yes. Yadrichya. Yes. Alaksham. मतलब इनके लक्षण तो ऐसे है कि समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि कौन से वर्णर कौन से आश्रम के हैं. जैसे like a person is like understood from which background he is. Like earlier years, earlier ages, just by seeing their kind of pagadi what they are using, based on that only you can understand whether he is a Maharashtrian or Gujarati or Rajasthani, or you can understand. But in case of Sukadeva Goswami, nothing on the head. Nothing on the head, how to understand. Yeah. Also from the dress you can understand whether person is a grahastha or brahmachari or a sannyasi or vanaprastha, kind of different. The dress they wear, dress codes and colors. But in case of Sukadeva Goswami, all directions are his clothes. How to understand which varna and ashram he belongs to. Yes, that's alaksham. Yes. But such person is misunderstood by Balair, he's written here. The women and children are like surrounding him, but not respecting him. They're disrespecting him. Somewhere even throwing stone at him and joking at him, mocking at him. Not able to understand the greatness of this person. And when these people are around him, insulting him, how is his mood? He's completely virakta. He's not affected by these things. Yes. He's not affected by. He's always like equipoised, equibalanced. So that shows his greatness. Yes. And also the last word used is avadhuta vesha. That dress which is rejected by all. He wears that dress. Because nobody wants to remain naked, but want to have some dress. But he is having directions as the dress. So that's the thing. So I just want to discuss something. What happened between this shloka number 24 and 25. Yesterday we saw the two questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj to the sages. What are the two questions? First one was the dharma. What is the dharma, the duty of person in general? And second was, what is the duty or dharma of a person who is about to die? So, but directly here we see the entry of Sukadeva Goswami coming, and he takes over the stage. But before he takes over, what happened? The discussion amongst the sages. I just hearing one lecture, there I found this discussion. Discussion is amazing. What kind of discussion? From this discussion, we can understand how we are so fortunate. How we are so fortunate. By the mercy of Prabhupada and the devotees, the disciples of Prabhupada, we are getting everything ready-made right in the plate. Yes, there is no need to like something like getting into the farm, sowing the seeds, growing the sugar cane, then cut it, bring it, and make a juice, offer it, and then comes in our glass. But by the mercy of Prabhupada and devotees, everything is ready-made coming directly in front in glass, the sugar cane juice. You have to just accept it. So what is that discussion? So Parikshit Maharaj, when he asked this question, Narad Muni told, just chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. So that is the solution for it. What is the duty? Just chant Hare Krishna. But Gautam Rishi told, no, that's okay, but let's be little philosophical. Let's be little philosophically. So he told, only in the human form of life one can solve the problems of suffering. And that's the essential duty of human being. All sages agreed, yes, very important. We need to solve this problem of sufferings. But Parishma also said, yes, very nice. Then what is the root cause of this suffering? And what is the remedy? What is the solution? Then Igva Maho Rishi, he told, so the cause of suffering, the root cause of suffering is ignorance. All sages agreed, yes. And Gautam Rishi told, to dissipate this ignorance, we must use the science of logical discrimination, that is Nyaya Shastra. We should use a Nyaya Shastra. Then Bharadwaj Rishi, he comes in front, he says, yes, we agreed with this. At the same time, see, this Kanad Rishi has applied this all logical analysis, this Nyaya, and understanding this material nature and also the material bodies. So this analysis is called as Vaisheshika philosophy. Yes. So along with the Nyaya Shastra, we should take care of, we should also study the Vaisheshika Shastra to understand the cause of suffering and negate it. Then Igwa Maharishi, he again says that yes, what you are saying, the solution is good, but not sufficient. Not sufficient to eradicate the miseries. As long as we identify with the matter, we continue to suffer. Somehow the spirit soul has intermingled into the matter, and now he is suffering this birth, old age, disease and death. So we should understand. See, this Kapila Muni has very nicely did the analysis of all the material elements. So we need to understand his philosophy. That philosophy is called the Sankhya philosophy. Yes. Now already he was telling the Nyaya Shastra, along with Nyaya Shastra, Vaisheshika Shastra, and now he is proposing the point of Kapila Muni's Sankhya Shastra. So what to do with Sankhya Shastra? We have to meditate upon the conscious spirit, soul and material world. And we have to follow Sankhya in order to detach oneself from the matter. Then Indra Pramadrushi comes in front, he says, yes, but the great sage Patanjali has told the process of Ashtanga Yoga. By following this, we can directly pursue the spirit soul who is eternal and unchanging, and thus we can free from sufferings. Then another sage, the Medatithi, he comes in front and says, the system of Jaimini Rishi, he tells very important things. See, whatever you are telling about the Nyaya Shastra or Vaisheshika Shastra or the Ashtanga Yoga, all these philosophies, all this knowledge will not work unless there is a proper action. So we need to take care of the action into consideration. That action is told by Jaimini Rishi in the Mimamsa Shastra. Yes, he's telling, perform your duties very nicely, the prescribed duties. Therefore he says, Athato dharma jigyasa. We need to follow all the duties in order to overcome sufferings. But Vedas says, see, the key requirement to overcome suffering is to surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So again and again, like Vasudeva is bringing that point. Now Vasudeva and Narad Muni bringing that point to the Supreme Lord, surrendering to Supreme Lord, chanting the holy name. But other rishis are not ready to accept it. Now the argument began between the followers of Kapila, the followers of Patanjali, and Vasudeva. What the followers they say? They are saying Kapila is the divine incarnation of the Supreme Lord. And if we reject his words, then he's as good as rejecting the Vedas. It's a great offense. But Vasudeva says, what Kapila are you talking? He's an atheistic Kapila. He is not the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And to reject the existence of God itself, what you are saying God doesn't exist, this will not happen. If you say God doesn't exist, then what kind of elements are you talking? From where the elements they have come? From where the spirit soul has come? Gautam Rishi in between then says, see, don't bring the causation. Don't give the argument of causation to prove the existence of God. If you bring that element in between, then how can you prove what is the cause of God? If people will ask then, what is the cause behind the God then? Yes, you say the causation. Vasudeva says, therefore I am telling, don't use the logic. Don't completely based on logic. Yes, come to Shastra. Yes, we have to take help of Shastras also. Yes. So he says, to understand the unseen, we must rely on the revelations of great seers, those who have seen the truth, and we must rely on the ancient Vedas. Therefore, Manu and Parashar clearly states that the material world is manifested by Vishnu. Vishnu is both efficient cause and the material cause of universe. So like similarly what we see in Srila Prabhupada also, he also says, don't completely rely on the logic. Initially, Prabhupada also begins the kind of discussions with the logic. But it quickly brings back to the Shastras. Like somebody is saying, does God exist? Does God eats? Prabhupada said, see, I'm a third party. Whom should I accept? You say God doesn't eat, and Krishna says, I do eat. So as a third person, I need to believe somebody. But why I should believe on loafer like you? I should believe the words of Krishna. Krishna says, Patram Pusham Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Uparatam Ashnami. He's telling Ashnami. I do eat, I do accept. So Prabhupada initially gave a logic and then quickly brought it to the Shastric basic. Because logic completely cannot prove. Somebody is very good at logic can disprove the even Vedic statements. So the same way Vasudeva is telling, don't be completely follow logic. But again, Igva Maharishi comes, who is like speaking about Sankhya philosophy, says, when Vedic statement contradicts the logical statement, then we must reject the Vedic statements. We must accept the logic. If there is truly somebody called as Supreme, then why did he create temporary material world with the sufferings? Yes? So then Vasudev turns to Parikshit and says, see, the fact of matter is neither logic, nor scientific analysis, nor detachment from matter, nor the awareness of spiritual nature, nor the Vedic rituals are sufficient to eradicate our sufferings. Only when we experience our eternal, real loving nature with Krishna, then only our suffering will truly cease. Bharadwaj Muni comes in front and says, see Parikshit Maharaj, what Vasudev is telling, we need to understand his statements, understand the veracity of this Vasudev's bold statement. So he says, see, as per the Kana, there are two kinds of pramanas. One is Pratyaksha Praman, another is Anuman Praman. And then Gautama says, hey, what about that Shabda Praman? You completely lost the Shabda Praman only. Of course, I take that also. That is also a kind of Pratyaksha Praman only. Then turning to Parikshit Maharaj, Gautama Rishi says, let's examine if there is any evidence what Vasudev has mentioned. Vasudev says one has to experience loving relationship with Supreme Lord to eradicate sufferings due to ignorance. But to experience that, there has to be personal form of Supreme Lord. But Supreme Lord is impersonal. As per the Mundaka Upanishad, Supreme Lord is impersonal. He is invisible, formless, and has no qualities, imperishable. And also the Chandogya Upanishad speaks, Tattvamasi, that spirit soul is one with the Brahman. It means that there are no two individuals, the only one individual. Yes. Then what kind of the solution what Vasudev is telling, how it will work? Because there are not two people. For a relationship, we need two people. Then Vasudev becomes very much like exasperated and says, so this is the problem with relying completely on the logic. Why do you neglect the Vedic evidences that clearly implies that everything has come from Supreme Lord? Before creation, there was Narayana, and Narayana only created this material world. It's clearly stated in the Upanishads, Narayana, he is the efficient cause, he is the ingredient cause, he is the formal cause, and he is also the remote cause of universe. From him, everything is coming. Yes. The Parikshit Maharaj says then, oh, can you please explain what is these causations? What are these four causes? Then Vasudev gives the example of construction. See, for constructing any building, that engineer is required, that engineer is considered as the efficient cause. The different ingredients like cement and sand and so many things required, they are called as the ingredient cause. Then the blueprint of the whole building, that is called as the formal cause. But for whom we are building the building, this constructing the building? For some people who want to stay there. So these people are the remote cause. So then Gautama Rishis again come in front and says, see my dear king, Vasudev's opinion is not just illogical but also opposes the Vedic eternal statements. How is that? How is that? How is that Vasudev is speaking against the Vedas? Because he himself has wrote the Vedas. So see, I'll tell you. If Vishnu is the material cause, ingredient cause, formal cause, remote cause, then what would make Vishnu equal with matter? Then that will make the Vishnu equal with matter and spirit. But as per the Shastra, there are three realities. Lord Vishnu, material nature, and the spirit soul. But Vashishta says, see Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, he has inconceivable potencies. He has inconceivable potencies. He expands through his potencies and still maintains his individuality. So don't doubt the words of Vasudev. And here, the followers of Vaisheshika philosophies and followers of atheistic Kapila, they say, the Vishnu is just a temporary manifestation of Brahman. When impersonal Brahman comes in touch with Sattva Guna, it manifests as Vishnu. Yes? So then here, the lot of discussions are happening back and forth. What to accept, the Ashtanga Yoga path or the Jaiminis Mimamsa philosophy or the other sages who are saying. So Vasudev, and of course the Vasudev also speaks about the surrendering to Supreme Lord. The argument goes back and forth. I'll just cut short, a big thing. So Narad Muni comes in front and says, see, you sages, you will keep fighting like this, then what will happen to Parikshit? Parikshit is having just 7 days to live, and all of you are just fighting back and forth, what to do, who is best and who is best, and which philosophy to follow. But till come to some conclusion. Yes, I feel we need to consult someone who has seen the truth, who has understood the nature of spirit and matter. Yes. So then all says, yes. That's important point. Parikshit is 7 days are remaining. But says, okay, Gautam Rishi, then who amongst us is who has seen the truth? Vashta says, oh, we have the best person, Narad Muni. He is free to move throughout the universe. He is completely free person. Is transcendental person. So his testimonies will be surely trustworthy. But Gautam Rishi objected, no, I don't believe Narada. Because the way he behaves, like in case of Kansa was peaceful, but he only went and instigated Kansa, and because of that Kansa killed all the sons of Devaki. So no, I don't believe. Gautama rejected. And then Narad Muni says, okay, then if not, then what about Vasudev? Vasudev, he is the one who has wrote all the Vedas. Maybe we can accept him. Then Vasishtha says, no, I don't accept Vasudev. Because when his son was born, the Sukadeva Goswami, and he left the house and went to forest. And Vasudev is such a attached householder, he went behind. So how can you believe somebody is attached? So like this, then lot of things went back and forth. Once again, the argument started. And then whom to accept, who has seen the truth? Then Parishma says, what is the symptom of person who has really has seen this truth? Yes? The self-realized person. So then again the sages started offering their opinions. They said, there's somebody who is self-realized means he should be above all bodily pleasures. Yes? He should be he should be able to explain the nature of matter, time, space, mind, as well as soul. So they again started saying all those things. So at this time, this today's shloka comes. Just little before this, now once again when the argument among the sages they began, the Parikshit Maharaj, in the hearts only, he has started feeling very kind of bad that I am here, last my 7 days are remaining. I came here to take shelter of the sages, and the sages are having a lot of confusion among themselves. Whom to follow? What is the best? What is the topmost? And actually he also knew, so Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead, we should follow Bhakti. Earlier chapters we got to see what is the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. But here sages are not ready to accept only that part. So then heart of heart he started offering prayers to the Supreme Lord, and then Lord answered his prayers. Answering to his prayers is this today's shloka, the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. Yes? Otherwise to tap Sukadeva Goswami is not so easy. To get his appointment is not so easy. Because to get his appointment, to get his darshan itself is so rare. To get his darshan. And those who get his darshan, they misunderstand him. Like the way here it is told, the children and the ladies were after him, but insulting him, not able to recognize him. The similar one what we see in case of Jad Bharat also. Nobody could understand Jad Bharat. Yes, the way he was dressed, the way he was behaving. People could not understand who is this personality. Yes, very rare to get darshan of such people. And even after getting darshan, very difficult to recognize the greatness of these people. So when Parikshit Maharaj offered prayers, so by the mercy of Lord, the Sukadeva Goswami appeared on the scene. And all sages then, they also saw, when they saw Sukadeva Goswami, the way his personality was, and the sages could understand the greatness. But just by seeing his, now next shlokas will, next 3-4 shlokas will explain the bodily features of Sukadeva Goswami also. Now examining these bodily features of Sukadeva Goswami, his behavior, they understood, oh, he is a great person. Then all them All of them stepped back and unanimously agreed. This Parikshit Maharaj 2 questions to answer this person, the Sukadeva Goswami is the fit to answer this, and then they offered him a place, a seat, and then they told Parikshit Maharaj to hear from Sukadeva Goswami. So very important lessons to be learned from these arguments. How when Prabhupada sir told, among devotees also there can be difference of opinions. But how you handle those difference of opinions, yes, that matters a lot. Like yesterday only, we had afternoon brahmachari class. In the brahmachari class, towards the end, one devotee asked a question. Prabhuji, I have one question. Generally, towards the end of brahmachari class, nobody asked questions because that was just a recording we are hearing. But that devotee was new. He also said, Prabhuji, I have one question. So he asked one question, and again there was an argument among the sages. But that argument was something different, not like this. The argument was, Prabhuji, you please answer. Prabhuji, you please answer. No, Prabhuji, oh, who am I? He is the senior, he can answer. The question was a very simple question. Even like normal, even PDC devotees can answer. They also knew the answer. But devotee is not ready to give the answer. But they are like sharing, you please answer, you please answer, you please answer. So this is the Vaishnava etiquette. Yes, they understand the Maryada Vetikram. The Vidura, when he asked question to Uddhava, Uddhava knew the answer, but he did not dare to come in front and speak that, because he told, oh, this Maitreya Muni is just nearby only. In his presence, I should not be speaking. That will be a Maryada Vetikram. Prabhupada very nicely explains in the purport how devotee understands this principle of Maryada Vetikram. When some senior is around, we should not be so enthusiastic to show our own knowledge. That's considered a pride. But we should be very eager to hear from our superiors, the senior Vaishnavas. Yes. So here this one of the lesson. And second, I was thinking is how when person is eagerly looking forward the Krishna consciousness, then Lord, Supreme Lord arranges for him. Here in case of Sukadeva Goswami, this Parikshit Maharaj, he was seeking the shelter. When he offered prayers, then it is the Supreme Lord who arranged for Sukadeva Goswami. Like in case of 4th canto Dhruva Maharaj, when he was also seeking for the Supreme Lord. Then he never invited Narad Muni, but Narad Muni came there. Yes, that's also Yadrichaya. That's also arranged by the Supreme Lord. And there Narad Muni comes and offers him the proper direction, how he should be approaching the Supreme Lord and how he can achieve the darshan and the mercy of Supreme Lord. Further in the same 4th canto, Prithu Maharaj section also, we see Prithu Maharaj, he was also seeking for it, and then Chatushka Maharaj, they themselves come. Yes, when one of the day he was there, Prithu Maharaj was there in his palace, and suddenly he saw the Chatushka Maharaj coming in. In case of Chatushka Maharaj, they did not come like this, they came from top, descended from top. So there it is explained that he got up with Utkantha. Utkantha, very, very nice word, Utkantha. His kantha is Ut, is up. So that it shows eagerness of a person, Utkantha. So there it is said, the way a conditioned soul or any person would like to, or who is so eager to catch up with his life. If somebody is pulling the life of some person, he will try his best to keep his life back in body. Yes, he'll be so eager. Like that, Prithu Maharaj he got up from his seat with that eagerness to receive Chatushka Maharaj. He was so eager. So for that eagerness, for that reciprocation, Supreme Lord also arranged for the association of Chatushka Maharaj for the Prithu Maharaj. Yes. Whereas the other side we see, in case of Indra, the association of his spiritual master was very easily available. Spiritual master is coming and there in the assembly of Indra. But he was not so eager. He was not so eager to take the association and listen here. So then he lost it. Yes, he did not properly respect the Brahaspati, his spiritual master, and he lost the association. Yeah, of course, he got the negative effects also he had to face a lot. So this, the very important concept of developing dependence on the Guru and Krishna. Yes, but nowadays that dependency on superiors and Guru and, what to speak of Guru and Krishna, immediate superior also is reducing. Yeah, like once what happened to a small child, in kidding, just a joking way, sometimes we say, oh, I will take your mother, I will take your father, and then we see generally kids say, no, please don't take my mother and father, please keep. Because that dependency the child feels on the mother, father. But to one small child it was asked, oh, I will take your mother, and he was peaceful. Leke jao. I will take your father also. Leke jao. Why? That dependency is not there. That mobile has come. I don't need the mother, father, the parents, I don't need. Whatever I need, I just ask Puran, Google Puran or Google Guru. I ask and I get what I need, what the answer is. Oh, I need something to eat, I directly go and Swiggy, Zomato, I order them, and Amazon, I order them, and comes to me. So I don't need. So like that, the dependency they're losing. Yes. But similarly, it also comes in the spiritual terms of developing dependence on the superiors, on the Guru and Krishna. Person may develop more dependence on the internet, the Google Guru. But there is one fundamental problem with this. There is one very fundamental, foundational problem with this modern technology. Google Guru or ChatGPT or anything you say. Yes. What is that basic problem, fundamental problem? Yes. Google will answer what question you ask. Google will answer what question you ask. He will not tell what is best for you, what is your need. Yes, what you need. That's very fundamental question, very important question. Yes. Like many people, they say, you reject demigod worship, but Shastras only speak about you worship Indra, Chandra, Varuna. They only if you go and check the Shastras give a detailed description how to do Indra Puja and Surya Puja and all this demigod worship, how to do it. The whole description is there in the Shastras, Vedic Shastras, authorized Shastras. But you people, they say, you don't do demigod worship. What is this? Are you a follower of Shastra or not? Vedic Shastra you don't follow? So similar question, similar point, that if you go and ask Shastras, whom to worship? The Shastras, they say, worship Lord Vishnu. Yes. Savai punsan paro dharma, yato bhakti radhakshari. Ahai tukhi apati hata. Ye atma suprasiddhati. So this whom to worship, Lord, the Shastra will say, best is you worship the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Yes, Krishna, you worship them. But whereas we go and ask how to worship Ganesha, how to worship Indra, how to worship Surya, then they'll say, oh, if you want to worship Surya, oh, here is a process. If you want to worship Yama, here is a process. If you want to worship Surya or Indra or Chandra or Varuna, here is a process. So it is a problem with our own questions. So how to understand what questions to be asked? In fact, from the question itself, we can understand what level person is. Here in the beginning of, when Sukadeva Goswami will begin, he will begin with glorifying the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. Oh, what a question. Varya Aneshate Prashna. What an amazing question you are asking. So just by questions, we can understand the advancement of a person, the level of questions. Yes. Then how to improve the quality of my question? Who will help me? Google? ChatGPT? Who will help me? So it's Guru, the spiritual master. Yes, the superiors will help me to improve the quality of my questions. Yes. Then how to develop that dependence on the spiritual master? But regularly hearing. Regularly we hear from them by regularly reading Srila Prabhupada books. we develop the dependence. We develop dependence on them, regularly asking and doing things. Okay? So that's what I just spoke something. Some things are there which is not that I'm also following, I'm also struggling at. So I seek blessings and prayers of all the devotees that I may also follow this and develop dependence on my superiors and spiritual master and Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Very good. You want to add project something?
So when you ask that question, like we approach Guru and we approach Google Guru. What is the difference? So very nice point you said that what we ask, what we may want and what we may need. So we may want something, but Google will not give you what you need. Right? Important function. Another thing, important point is we are supposed to approach Guru. The first aspect is not to ask question. The first aspect is to pranipata, submit. So when we approach a living person, we submit to that person and then we inquire. But with Google, we only go with an enjoying mentality. I will get it, I want it, I'll get my answer. There is no submission there. And without submission, even if you get the information, right, if whatever you get as answer, it will only remain as information. It will never turn into your realization. Because that submission was not there. So now, why the speaker has to sit on a higher pedestal and we are sitting on the ground? That submission. Because that submission is there, I am ready to hear. Okay. Then whatever the speaker speaks goes in. So Google, there is no submission. Pranipata is not there. Sadhu. Srila Prabhupada.